So, I had my teeth shaved down and got veneers. Yep, they shaved my teeth. Don't listen to those who say it's a piece of cake. No more coffee or tea for me. But here's a cool trick. Hi Purples, it's Tasha, your purple loving beauty blogger. And today is a big day because I decided to make a major change in my appearance. Well, not exactly like that. In short, I have my teeth shaved down and got veneers, but let's start from the beginning. Oddly enough, it all began with some typical hate comments. On one of my videos, I received a couple of comments like, "Clean your teeth." Well, I playfully jumped on the trend. At that time, Eminem's song was blowing up, so it fit perfectly. And my YouTube channel turned into this. At first, I reacted as I usually do, calmly and with a touch of irony, turning it all into a joke. But then, it stopped being funny because, despite being hate, there was some truth in it. Slightly yellow teeth are normal, but I had a slightly different issue. My tooth enamel is naturally thin and it quickly absorbs pigments. So, under certain lighting conditions, my natural teeth didn't just look yellow but sometimes even brown. And that's definitely not okay for a beauty blogger. In addition to that, after I got my braces removed, I realized that I didn't like my shape of teeth. Moreover, teeth just grow up the way they do and you can't change it. Anyway, for several months I had this idea swirling around my head. I didn't want gut veneers, I just wanted to whiten them, so I looked into various methods. But then, a Turkish doctor messaged me and suggested I visit their clinic. It was a surprise, I'll tell you more about it now. So, I was also watching videos about getting veneers concurrently. I initially dismissed this idea because they have to shave down your teeth, and that sounds scary. But since I'm recording this video now, it means it's all done and I'll tell you all about it step by step. Please don't forget to subscribe to me and hit the like button. It would mean a lot for me. First, I had an online consultation. They actually checked my teeth via Skype. Can you believe it? But then they invited me for an in-person consultation to take X-rays and begin their treatment. So, did we take off to Istanbul? On the first day in Istanbul, we checked into the hotel. The hotel, by the way, is in the same place as the clinic. It's not just a regular hotel, it's more like a hotel room that's an apartment. You can live there, cook for yourself, do laundry, there's a kitchen, a dishwasher, a toaster, a stove, an oven, a workspace, a TV, a spacious bedroom and a fantastic shower. In short, we checked in and then went out for a walk. I guess it's the last time I'm having sweets. For today at least. Good morning, today marks my first visit to the dentist. They're supposed to check the condition of my teeth, take some x-rays and then we'll discuss the treatment plan. I'm feeling a bit nervous, but I'll have some breakfast, get ready and head there. What are we going to do today? Honestly, I have no clue. Probably some x-rays and then they'll ask me what color I want my teeth to be. And I'm like, Yellow or green? The dental clinic is located in the same building as my apartment. The clinic itself is really nice and modern, which is pretty cool. Everyone greeted me with smiles, all cheerful and everything. I guess they like that with all their patients. First, they took x-rays, everything went by the book. I've had x-rays before, so I understand the process. The x-rays show that everything was fine and there is no need for any treatment. Then they sent me off for a media day, which was a bit strange but cool. They always take photos before and after the treatment. After that, they organized a full-on photo shoot with the different treatments, getting really up close and using special tools to show all my teeth and the whole jam. Well, let me tell you what happened next. Oh, I can't believe it. So, what's the deal? It was the first day after they shaved my teeth down. Of course, what I saw yesterday wasn't for faint-hearted. I had thought that they would just examine my teeth, take an X-ray, and we discussed things like caps, procedures, and so on. You know, what color and shape of veneers I'd prefer. But instead, they took an X-ray, said everything was fine, and we could start right away. Doctor said, "Are you ready?" I said, "Well, yeah, I'm ready." And I thought they would just be examining or treating something inside my mouth. But instead, they started giving me these shots, injections. It's the most painful things ever, especially when they injected it into the upper part near the gums. Tears were literally streaming down my face. My upper lip went numb. I couldn't feel it, it was just dangling. But the good thing was I didn't feel any pain. Then they began to drill and file right away. It's a bit tough to talk now, but I didn't feel anything. It was like it passed in the blink of an eye. Just like that, snap. You know, when it's tedious and painful, time stretches out endlessly. But here, it was all very fast, almost instant. I was running thoughts in my head, saying some prayers because it was stressful, and then I looked in the mirror and my teeth all filled down. Oh, I can't believe it. So, they first completely shaved down the upper teeth. They were like little strumps, and I didn't feel a thing. And then they started filing down the lower ones. I was a bit shocked because they started filing them without anesthesia. And I felt like, you know, it's sensation. It's not exactly painful, but there is a heightened sensitivity in your teeth, and it makes you feel a bit weird. I felt it, and I flinched. I thought to myself, did the dentist forget to numb the lower part? And they kept filing. If I hadn't flinched just yet, they would have continued filing everything there. It was such a strange moment, but in the end, they did everything properly. They gave me those shots again, and it was really painful down there, but it was over much quicker. So, if we're talking about the upper part, it seemed like it took forever for everything. They were fine-tuning everything, but the lower part was much quicker. I think they managed to do it within an hour. And the funniest thing that surprised me during the whole procedure, you know how they make mold of your bite? Who's been through that? Share in comments. How did it feel? Well, for those who don't know, making a mold involves using the mental attachment that resembles either the upper or lower jam. They fill it with liquid silicone, insert into your mouth and start pressing really hard to get the impression. They press and hold it, I don't know, maybe around 3 minutes for each jaw, I guess. They did it to me about 4 times, and toward the end, I was really surprised at how fast everything is happening. You can see right now that I still have my teeth. They are not all shaved down. I can a little speak, I can eat more or less normally, and the cool thing is that they made these temporary overlays for me right on the same day. I mean, I've seen some people who had it down even in Russia, in Moscow. They have those overlays that look like they ordered a fake jaw from a store. You can clearly see that it's a removable piece, so huge and brightly white. I was amazed that they made for me right away, very naturally, immediately. So while they were translating everything for me, they were probably making the mold in another room. But yesterday, of course, it took me quite a while to get used to it. The whole idea is quite strange. I could only eat certain things like yogurt and drink cold beverages because they told me, Stasha, you can't chew anything that might damage those temporary overlays. Okay, my purples, today I had what you could call a feeding day. It's quite hard for me to talk right now because we had another round of all those jaw impressions, around 100 injections in every direction, the most significant part. But today was fun. Today they put on these test temporary teeth. For me, the process wasn't the most pleasant, especially at the beginning because they first removed these temporary overlays. And it was quite scary. They removed them like when you take off braces. Yeah, it was like that, but even more intense. Because they removed my braces, it seems somewhat gentler. Although I probably just forgot and they were digging into those teeth again. I saw my shaved down teeth, like little stumps, and they put those veneers of course, but those veneers were not real. They were just different colors and shapes, so it looked quite strange. They were all white, matte and natural teeth. I hope mine don't turn out like that, but it was necessary to understand if the bite was correct. Can I even close my mouth properly? Well, it seems like everything is fine, but honestly, let me tell you, when your mouth is numb, your lips feel strange and I can't feel them at all. How can I tell if my bite is normal or not? Honestly, it's very strange, but apparently the dentist saw that everything was okay, and that's good. I'm still a bit in shock that I'm getting my teeth done here in Turkey. I have 2 doctors working on it. We are getting things done step by step. I'm not used to it because when I usually do dental work in Russia, it's all done very delicately and it's much gentler. I've had a lot of dental work in my life and I can compare, but once upon a time in Russia, they did it in such a way that I started to generally fear going to the dentist. Oh my, this brave Russian woman dentist who just hooked me like that. She was almost screaming at me. It was really something. But that was back in school. So you know this story now. Please share your cool or crazy stories about the dentists. Good morning, my purples. I had a really bad night's sleep last night because my teeth were hurtling. I woke up in the middle of the night and took some painkillers. It was tough. But there's no turning back. Today they will be placing the veneers, so I'm nervous. I have this feeling of anxiety. I read articles where things can go wrong, like the bite being off or other issues. But anyway, there is no way back. So it's almost 7 a.m. and let's start the day. Oh, my purples, if I had known that the day of veneer placement is not just the last day, but the most challenging stage, it's not like everything else is already done. Right now, I'm not scared. But if I had known, I might not have gone through all the stages with veneers. Seriously. Don't listen to those who tell you it's a piece of cake. The installation stage is actually the most complicated and painful stage. Why? Simply because in the all previous days I was given anesthesia and I didn't feel a thing. In all previous days I wore temporal teeth that cover my real enamel, and there were no painful sensation either. But today they removed that temporary overlay and I spent the entire day with my short shaved teeth, and it's very painful. Let me try to explain. Imagine you just taken a sip of hot tea and then you suddenly put ice into your mouth. It's like your teeth clenching, or okay, imagine someone running the fingernail or something sharp across the chalkboard or glass. It's a similar sensation, but amplified tenfold. When your enamel is freshly exposed from under the veneers, it's much more sensitive. You feel everything, even the air you breathe. So I had to go around like this all day. First there was another fitting, but this time with the actual veneer they had made. I needed to check my bite, the shape, if everything was okay, if my teeth were closing properly, and if I liked the shape. There were some minor changes that I didn't like. It's strange too, because I initially showed them the tooth shape I wanted, long with sharp fangs, but they made them flat and even. They marked some changes for themselves and went to the lab to do something. During this time, they released me into my room for an hour or two because they needed to make some adjustments to the veneers. So right now I have my teeth slightly reduced, that's why I'm wearing the mask. Honestly, it's quite painful because air gets in and it's just terrible. I'm heading back to the clinic now. They're going to administer injections. They'll be injecting Botox, not for my lips, but to relax my jaw muscles so they won't press too hard against each other and cause pain. That's the idea. The doctor, the clinic founder, will be administering the Botox injection, and it's not a painful procedure at all. Honestly, compared to getting injections into gums, it's a piece of cake. They inject me the Botox in the jaw muscles to relieve tension. We started around 4 p.m. because the veneer installation procedure itself is very fast, like 30 minutes tops. But if it had taken longer, I don't know if anyone could bear it. To bond the veneers, your teeth must be perfectly dry. Oh, even thinking about it now, it's unpleasant. First, they wiped them with something like vodka, then they blew air on them with a dental tool. Well, you understand what I mean. Sitting in the chair, just gripping it, it's very painful, too uncomfortable. I'll remind you that everything was done at once. They installed veneers one by one, and thank God it was very quick. But it took a long time to make adjustments afterward to remove excesses. They also warned me that it's very important to check the bite right away, whether everything aligns and feels normal. Otherwise, once I leave, there's no fixing it. It's like it's too late. Well, it seems okay, but it's difficult to evaluate everything immediately because everything hurts. I'd like to have a few hours to walk around, get used to it, and see if everything is okay after these pain sensations subside. But it had to be done instantly, and because of their own delays, we had less time. Another point I want to mention is that I used to wear braces, and after wearing braces, people usually wear retainers for several years and use a clear night overlays like night guard to keep everything stabilized. I wore them too. Right at the beginning, even during the online consultation, I requested them to make me a new retainer after the procedure because it's important to wear it. I reminded them of several times, but in reality, after they installed the veneers, they told me that I don't need them anymore because they had applied Botox and I had already placed the veneers. Well, I started to doubt, ask them again because I remember it's necessary. But they reassured me and said there wasn't enough time to make the retainer. They started reassuring me that everything is okay. But later I asked my orthodontist if I should still wear the retainer after getting the veneers. She told me, of course you should. There are separate procedures. You still need to stabilize your teeth under the veneers. So I had to schedule an appointment back home to get it done again. It's a paid procedure, so make sure to check everything, clarify and plan your time accordingly so that you have at least one extra day for double checking and making sure everything you wanted is done. But overall, I'm satisfied. The clinic itself is really great, all new, clean and modern. I want to emphasize again that everything is located in the same building as your apartment. You just go down, have your procedures done, and come back home without the need to walk around the streets. In Istanbul, there are constant traffic jams if you have to travel by taxi. I communicated with the doctor in English, but they have translators. Now, let's talk about my opinion. Initially, I was very dissatisfied with the results. I was really upset and I didn't like it at all. I regretted everything I had done. I didn't like the color, especially the color of my teeth, because it seemed Well, even now I feel like it's too white, completely unnatural. I don't like it when it's too conspicuous. It bothers me personally. Of course, everyone reassured me that I just need to get used to it, everything is fine, like I can still drink coffee and tea without worrying, as if I didn't have nuts in my mouth or had just gotten braces. It's like I have this glow in the dark, like I'm wearing a Joe with a built-in lights. What is this? They told me that it's supposed to match the color of the whites of your eyes. Well, my eye whites are not like that. Like for real, they are not too white. Looking back, I can't help but wonder what I was thinking. There was a moment when I regretted everything and just wanted to run away from it all. Honestly, it felt overwhelming. However, now 2 weeks down the road, I've actually grown accustomed to it, and it doesn't bother me as such anymore. I've had to give up coffee and tea forever, but the doctor did mention that if I really crave coffee, I should drink some water before drinking coffee. One interesting aspect was the before and after photos. In the beginning, it was clear I had my yellow teeth, but at the end, it was like a whole different story. They had just finished the procedure and installed the new teeth. I walked around feeling like a stranger, wondering what had happened, and I couldn't even speak properly. Everything hurt. They promptly took me to a room for a photo shoot, instructing me to smile this way and that way, trying different poses. The photos with flash were something else. I was so upset then. I even felt like crying because my teeth were shining like light bulbs. It was as if they had placed some gadget in my mouth that made my teeth glow. Well, my purpose, it's quite an experience. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this new smile? Can you imagine yourself going through it? Have you ever thought of getting veneers or braces? Please hit the like button and stay tuned for more.